In this video, you're going to learn how to use the law of sines to solve triangles, and we're going to determine whether there's one triangle, two triangle, or no triangles possible by going through some of these different cases here. The angle side case, the Angleside Angle case, the Sideside Angle Ambiguous case, where you could potentially have no triangle, one triangle, or even two triangles. We're going to go through 8 examples. Go ahead and feel free to skip ahead if you want to see some of the other ones. But let's start with this first one. Notice they're giving us angle side. And you want to figure that out as you're going around the triangle clockwise or counterclockwise, right? So angle side, when you have that situation, there's only going to be one triangle possible. So let's go ahead and solve for that one triangle. We've got 135 degrees. If we subtract from 180, that means that this angle here must be 45 degrees. And now we're going to do the law of sines. Now remember the law of sines, you basically want to make a pair. You say the sine of 25 degrees over its side opposite, 6, equals sine of 110 degrees over its side opposite. That's going to be side B. And we're going to go ahead and cross multiply and solve. So we get B times the sine of 25 degrees equals 6 times sine of 110. If we divide both sides by sine of 25 degrees, that's going to give us B by itself, right? So let's go ahead and do that on the calculator. Make sure you're in degree mode since these angles are in degrees. So 6 times sine of 110, all divided by sine of 25. Okay, so we're getting B is equal to 13.3, and I'm just going to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, and now we just have to solve for this side here across from angle C. See how that makes like a pair? So let's see, for side C, we've got sine of 45 degrees over C is equal to sine of 25 degrees over 6. So you just want to make a proportion. Cross multiply again, we've got 6 times the sine of 45 degrees equals C times the sine of 25 degrees. And let's just divide both sides by sine of 25 to get C by itself. And let's see what that comes out to. Check my work on this one. 6 sine of 45 divided by sine of 25. Okay, I'm getting about 10.0. And you solve that triangle. So just one triangle possible when you have angle side. Now this one we're getting into angle side angle. See how that side is like in between the two angles? It's called the included side. When you have angle side angle, you also only have one triangle possible. So here what we've got is 105 degrees, that's 115. Subtract from 180, that gives us this missing angle, 65 degrees. And then notice we've got a pair here. And let's go ahead and solve for angle side B, across from angle B. So we have sine of 65 degrees over 15, and we have sine of 105 over B. Okay, now let's go ahead and cross multiply. We've got B sine of 65 equals 15 times sine of 105. And if we divide both sides by sine of 65, we can get side B by itself. So let's see what that comes out to. 15 sine of 105 divided by sine of 65. Okay, here we've got about 16.0 if you round. So that's going to be right here, 16.0. And we're just solving for side A now, across from angle A. So, you know, when you do this law of sines, just to tell you, you can do the reciprocal as well. You could say side A over sine of 10 degrees equals, let's just do 15 over sine of 65. Now you're probably saying, Mario, why are you doing it like that? Well, remember, as long as you take the reciprocal of both sides of the equation, it's still equivalent. But the reason I'm doing it is just to make it a little bit easier, a little bit less writing. If I multiply both sides by sine of 110, see how I cross that out, I get A by itself, and do the same thing to the other side to keep it balanced. So we have 15 sine of 10 degrees divided by sine of 65, and that's coming out to 2.9. So that would be this side right here, side A, which is equal to 2.9. Okay, it's getting more interesting now. Here, number 3, we're getting into the side angle, which we refer to as the ambiguous case because it's not clear whether there's one triangle possible, two triangles, or no triangle. And so what we want to do is we want to drop an altitude like so. See that height right there? So now if I cover up this side of the triangle, we have a right triangle, and you can see sine of 40 degrees equals opposite over hypotenuse, right? So let's write that down here. Sine of 40 equals h over 18. And so now if I multiply both sides by 18, let's see what that height comes out to. We've got 18 sine of 40, which is 11.6. Okay, now this is where we assess, is there one triangle, two triangles, or no triangles possible? See, I didn't really draw this triangle to the proper scale. Okay, so I kind of tricked you a little bit on this one. See how this is 11? See, 11, if I really drew this correctly, 11 is like that, okay? And if we rotate it, you see how 11, it's not going to reach this other side here because the altitude is 11.6. 11 is only going to reach to about there. So really for this one, there's no triangle possible, and you're not going to be able to solve it. It's just can't be drawn. It wasn't drawn correctly. So we'll just write no triangle possible, no triangle, okay? So for number 4, what do you think about this one? We've got, again, side-side angle, ambiguous case, side-side angle condition. And what I'm going to do here, again, is drop that altitude, and we're going to analyze it. So how do we find that height? Well, again, if I cover up the side of the triangle, we have a right triangle. Sine of 20 equals h over 15. So sine of 20 degrees equals h over 15. Multiply both sides by 15, and let's see what that comes out to. 15 sine 20. I'm getting about 5.1. Okay, now, you see how this side right here, it's not shorter than 5.1 like in this case where there was no triangle possible. However, this side here, 20, is not in between 5.1 and 15, meaning that you see the side here, if I was to rotate it, it would actually extend past this side here, right? So we can't turn this and draw it like two triangles. It can only swing out to the right like this. So there's only one triangle possible here. So then the question is, well, how do we solve the triangle? Well, we go back to our law of sines, okay, and we say sine of angle over the side opposites, sine of 20 degrees over 20, okay, that's a coincidence, okay, equals sine of c over 15. Multiply both sides by 15, and take the sine inverse of both sides to get angle c by itself. So let's see what that comes out to, 15 sine 20. Divided by 20, and then remember we have to take the sine inverse whenever you're solving for the missing angle, and I'm getting about 14.9, okay, degrees. Now if we add these up, okay, and subtract from 180, we're getting about 145.1 for this angle. I'll just write that up here, 145.1 degrees. And now we just have to solve for the side across from angle B using the law of sines again. So we have sine of 145.1 all over B equals sine of 20 over side 20. Okay, so let's cross multiply. 20 sine 145.1 equals B times the sine of 20. Divide both sides by sine of 20 to get B by itself. And we'll have solved this triangle. So 20 sine of 145.1 divided by sine of 20. Okay, I'm getting about 33.5. And that's it. You found all the sides, all the angles. Now for number 5, this one's interesting because, again, we have side-side angle, that ambiguous case. We want to drop that altitude and analyze whether there's one triangle, two triangle, or no triangle possible. So we've got sine of 30 equals h over 10. So let's write that down here. So sine of 30 equals h over 10. Multiply both sides by 10. I know sine of 30 is a half. A half times 10 is 5. And so you say, oh, wait a second, this height is 5. This side here is 5. What that means is I really didn't draw it in the correct way. If I really drew this correctly, this would, this 5 here would be like this. So it's actually, the altitude is right here, 5. So I didn't, it's not that I, a lot of times in the book they'll give you the triangle like that because they don't want to give it away. They want you to realize, what kind of a triangle it is. It's a right triangle, and it's actually a special right triangle. We have 30, 60, 90, and we know then that this side is x, 2x, and x root 3, so this side is going to be 5 root 3, and you solved it. Okay, number 6, we've got an obtuse triangle. Number 7, we also have an obtuse triangle. This is interesting, and it's also interesting because it's the side-side angle condition. So how many triangles do we have? Well, when it's obtuse, you're either going to have one triangle or no triangle. So how do we know if it's none or one? Well, in a triangle, okay, you always want to have the longest side across from the largest angle. And of course, when it's an obtuse triangle, the longest side has to be across from that obtuse angle because that's going to be the largest angle in the triangle. But look what we have here. See, 5 and 6. So again, I tricked you a little bit on this problem, the way I drew the triangle. If I really drew it more to scale, 5 is really going to be something like that, okay? Maybe, it doesn't quite reach, because if this is 6, it's not going to extend it to this point here. Now, say you didn't notice that and you just said, Mario, I just did the law of sines. I did sine of 110 over 5, sine of angle B over 6. I solved it, but I got an error on my calculator. So that's another way you can realize, oh, something's off here. But so no triangle possible on number 6. For number 7, this one is good. You can see we've got the largest angle, and the side across from the largest angle is the longest side. So there's only going to be one triangle possible, so we can go and dive into our law of sine. Sine of 130 over the side opposite equals sine of angle B over its side opposite, right? Multiply both sides by 5 and take the sine inverse to get angle B by itself. So let's see what we get on this one. Check my work. 5 sine of 130 divided by 8, and then we're going to take the sine inverse of that answer, and we're getting 28.6 degrees. And if we add these up and subtract from 180, we can find angle A. So 28.6 plus 130, take that away from 180, we get 21.4 degrees. Now all we have to do is solve for side A across from angle A. And let's see what we get for that. We get sine of 21.4 over side A equals sine of, we'll just go 130 over 8. I like to go back to the original numbers if at all possible. If we cross multiply, 8 sine of 21.4, okay, equals A times sine of 130. Divide both sides by sine of 130 to get A by itself. And let's see what we get for that one. 8 sine of 21.4 divided by sine of 130, right? Okay, I'm getting 3.8. And we solved the triangle. Okay, last example. I saved the best one for last. This is a really interesting problem. See if you can do it on your own. And if you made it this far in the video, put a comment in the comments below to let me know that you stuck around till the end. I know a lot of people bail after the first couple problems. But for this one, what do you think? The first thing we have to do is we have to drop an altitude, okay, to figure out if there's one triangle, two triangles, or no triangle possible. Now, again, you can see we've got a right triangle. Sine of 40 equals h over 12. So let's go ahead and figure out what that is. Multiply both sides by 12, and that's 12 times the sine of 40. Okay, so that comes out to 7.7. Okay, very interesting. Why is this interesting? Because see the side across from this acute angle, 8? That's in between 7.7 and 12, which means that we can take this side and rotate it. Okay, now I didn't draw my triangle super great, but just so you can see, we could have drawn it like this, okay? Meaning the 8 side was here. And we've got this isosceles triangle. We've got this, obtuse triangle here with this angle here being obtuse. So what we can do is we're going to split it up into two triangles. So let's see if I can draw this here for us. We've got this triangle right here. Okay, this is angle A, B, and C. This is 40 degrees. That's all we have. And then we've got the original triangle, which I'll put right here. This is still 40 degrees. This is A. This is B. This is C. So it could have been really drawn in either of these ways if they're just giving us this limited amount of information, side angle, right? Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to solve for angle C. Why angle C? Because we've got a pair. Sine of 40 over 8 equals sine of C over 12. Let's write that down. Equals sine of C over 12. Let's multiply both sides by 12, and then we'll take the sine inverse of both sides. So 12 sine 40 divided by 8, and take the sine inverse. Okay, I'm getting 74.6. So which triangle is that for? Well, you can see it must be for this one right here, 74.6. But notice what's interesting here. See how this forms an isosceles triangle, because this is 8 and this is 8? And we know the base angles of an isosceles triangle are congruent. So these are both 74.6, but you see this angle here next to, the 40 is for here, but right next to 74.6, these form a linear pair. which means that 180 minus 74.6 is 105.47. That's this angle right here, which is this angle right here in this triangle, right? So now if we add these up and subtract from 180, 105.4. So that's 40 plus 105.4. Take that away from 180. We're getting 34.6. And over here we have 40 plus 74.6, and take that away from 180. We've got 65.4 degrees. Okay, now all we have to do is solve for side B. That's across from angle B. Okay, but we'll have to do it separately for each of these two triangles, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We've got sine of 40 over its side opposite, which is 8, equals sine of 34.6 over B. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply and solve. So let's do that. We've got 8 sine 34.6 equals B times the sine of 40. Divide both sides by sine of 40 so that we can get B by itself, right? Okay, so 8 sine of 36 divided by sine of 40 gives us 7.3. Okay, so we've got 7.3. We solve that triangle. This one over here, same thing. We've got sine of 65.4 over side B equals sine of 40 degrees over 8. So let's cross multiply and solve. So we've got 8 times the sine of 65.4 divided by the sine of 40. Okay, and so we've got 11.4 if we round. Now, if you want to see more examples about the ambiguous case and solving whether you've got one triangle, two triangle, or no triangle, and how to tell, I'll put a link to that video right there where we go into some more examples. I'll see you over in that video.